Hey everybody, welcome back to Irish Outlaw Garage. Today is a new day. Well, some people might think we're actually going to be committing a crime to the hot rodding industry. Keep it carbureted. Well, you know what? We've had a lot of bad luck with brand new carbs from any company you want to say, including their parts. So we're going to try something different. And me and Zeppy here, we've decided to partner up with Aces EFI. That's right. Everybody over at Aces decided that they wanted to see me work on something that had this in it. Well, that's great, but what would we put it in? I don't know. What are we going to put this in, guys? Well, it's going in our 1968 Pontiac ambulance we call Artemis. It's actually Amber's car that she daily drives, but why not upgrade it a little bit, make it more user-friendly and more like a new car. So that's the idea here. And then once we get this in, tell them where we're going.
Tucson, Arizona to Duct Tape Drags.
Duct Tape Drags, that's right. We kind of thought about taking the... we were kind of thinking we were going to take the Cutlass, but then we kind of got talked out of it, didn't we? Everybody said, no, you need to take that ambulance. That thing's huge. It's like, yeah. It gets 10 miles a gallon. Let's go 3,500 miles in a round trip like me and Skylar did last year in Bonnie, our 67 GS340. So anyway, this is a kill shot system. It's complete. It has everything you need as far as putting in your fuel injection system and your timing. We are going to control timing with the new distributor also, which is something I've never done. I've always just done the Yoda turn and spin and little screwdriver action. Nope, this time we're gonna let the computer do it. Now, we are going to be as honest as possible about this. That means it works great, but everything was hunky-dory. No, if we have a problem, we're gonna tell you, and we're gonna let you know what that problem may be. So the plan is we're going to get all this on Artemis in time for Duct Tape Drags, and that is how many weeks away?
3?
Is it 3? It might be less than that, but I think it's 2. I think we got 2 weeks to get all this on. I've already done the exhaust. We still got to put the O2 sensor in that exhaust, so I'm going to have to get that out, put it on there, and try my welding skills.
Yay!
Yay! But anyway, I think we'll do a little bit of an unboxing. We're going to do this in a kind of unorthodox way. We're going to have little bit by little bit put on here. That way Amber can still drive it until the big finale where we put the throttle body on top of it, and we'll go from there. We're going to give you our honest opinion on it. I've never done this. As you can see, there's no fancy shop. There's no nothing. Everything's done outside here. If this is your first time seeing my channel, it's all outside. And you can see the rest of my cars on the channel. Just go look in the playlist. There's a ton of them, trust me. But can't do anything in here. It's all got to be done outside, basically right where we're standing. So we're going to pull this stuff out, give it a look-see. We've already kind of gone through it a little bit because I had to make sure everything was there. I didn't want to start on this and then we're missing something. That would suck. So hang on to your hats. This is going to be a wild ride for us because I've never put one of these in. I used to work on TBI systems when I was a real mechanic, but I've never installed one. This is going to be a little bit different, so hold on. Okay, let's start unboxing. Got both of them open. My teeth are moving. That's how you know how hillbilly this is. My teeth are gonna fall out. Now, I'm leaving that in there. Okay, so we got both boxes open. We're just gonna kind of show you one box, and then we're gonna take the other one out and we'll show you. So I think we'll start over here. I'll get on the other side of Zeppy. Complete packing list. And here is basically your oxygen sensor installation. It tells you how far and where to put it. Or you can go to acesefi.com and they have all the instruction stuff on there, and they have some great videos on how to. Plus there's other channels that have good how-tos. So we'll put that there. This is the computer. We'll show you that here in just a bit. Yeah. So, what do we all got in here? Here is our Aces 7-inch screen with a sticker. That's the most important part. It's got a sticker. That is the 7-inch heads-up display. Also has GPS, so you can use it for miles per hour and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, of course, it comes in with the cables to hook it up to your computer box and the things to attach them tight, because this is actually magnetic, which is awesome. You don't have to tighten it down. Say you want to take it in the hotel with you, or you know, you're afraid to leave it out at Billy Bob's Town and Country Bar and Grill. You can take this out and bring it in with you. It's pretty heavy. Could be used as a weapon, but we don't know. We won't go into that. So we know we got that. Put your sticker back. Don't lose that sticker, boy. Boys at Aces will be angry with us.
There's tons of stickers in here.
Yeah, they're part of the sticker. All right. Now, here is the unconventional way we're doing this. This is Aces EFI's command center. Oh, see, we already know it's good. Free stickers. And there is your instructions. And I need to go through that because I'm confused because, well, I'm me. So this is the Aces command center. If I can get it out of there. Oh, I know what that is. That is basically a thing that you drill out and it goes in your fuel tank if you do not have a return. So it basically crushes in and it suctions to the tank, that way it don't leak. And then it's got an AN6, or what is it, AN6 I think it's called, ain't it? I don't know. I've never messed with this stuff, but 6AN fitting, I think it is, 3/8. So we got that. And then this is the command center. Woo! Feel the heavy on that. Can you hold it? That's pretty heavy.
Oh, that's easy.
It's very, very well built. Okay? This, basically what we're doing is we're going to mount this in the car, in Artemis, on a fender or something like that. I've already been kind of scoping it out. We can't set it like this because there ain't nowhere to do that. But this don't have to be straight up and down. Right here are basically the provisions, so you can take these brackets and put them on the end. That way you can put it sideways like that. Okay? And what this is your motor on your old school car that has your, you know, your mechanical pump. It will pump fuel from that to here, and then this little tank will stay full, and it has a pump in it. It has the electric fuel pump you need. I can't remember the size. We'll have to explain that when we get further in the video. And it pumps to your TBI, your throttle body. That way you're still using the pump off the motor to fill it. You don't have to have a pump in the tank. It's completely serviceable, just like if it was in your tank. So if this pump goes bad, you just take these off, pops open, change the fuel pump. That's a lot easier. But you do have to have a return, and it is pressure from the electric pump. So it needs to be 3/8. I have to specify that. I believe, what I understand is it needs to be 3/8. That way everything flows smoothly. Now the other upside of having this, let's say going down the road, we're having a good old time, this thing's went thousands of miles, never gave us any trouble, and then poof, something happens. You go to a local parts store, nobody has an electric fuel pump that'll work, which nowadays that's about all they got. So, but what you can do is say if you have a carburetor laying around, you just swap the throttle body out with the carburetor and come with the line that you came from your pump to here, go into the carburetor, get on your way till you get somewhere that has the pump to replace this. So, has a pressure gauge built right on it. You can also get a fuel pressure regulator switch that will go to your computer, and you can read it off of your 7-inch screen or your 5-inch, whichever one you have. I highly recommend you get the 7. Why not? So I think it's a free upgrade right now, actually. You might check the site, but I'm pretty sure it's a free upgrade. So we keep on moving. Let me put this back in there so it don't get hurt.
The red was supposed to be on top.
Then what we got here is our Blackjack Pro Series distributor. This is going to make our life easier, we hope, because that Pontiac is finicky. So this will hook directly to
a sticker.
I can't do anything with these kids. I got one behind me that's being a goof and the other one's being bossy. This will be controlled by the computer, by the entire system, to get the optimum performance out of the engine and everything. You can also, you know, run whatever you have. It doesn't matter, but we chose to try it. We want to go all out and try it. So anyway, there's box number 1, and I don't even know. Oh, yep, there they are. Got different springs. It's got everything in it just like any other billet, except this one will run with your EFI setup. And if it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, you'd be right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm doing the best I can. And now, how'd I mess that up?
I don't know.
You know?
Because you don't know how to package things.
Get in there.
I think the box is supposed to go over there.
There it went. That's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
All right, now we can show you the computer.
The computer. No, we're not.
What?
We're holding off on that. He's all excited. He wants to show you the throttle body.
No,
of the
I
computer.
don't.
Yeah, he does. All right. Wiring harness.
Yeah.
This thing is beefy. I mean, wow. I'm not exactly sure. I believe that is, yep, that's the main little one. This is your wiring harness, and everything is marked. That's pretty sharp. That is very well made. Got everything on it you already need. It's all pre-wired. Wow, okay. I didn't really ever look at that. Never have. Oh! Got hats? You need to swap your hat out, boy.
It's adjusted to my size already.
It's already your size. How'd that happen? Put it on your motor.
Yay!
We got shirt. All right, well, this is the cable that goes from our computer to a computer.
Yay!
Is that what these are called? Computers? I always mess that up.
Puta.
And here is a fuel line kit. That's fantastic. Got line, a bunch of AN fittings. What do we got? Oh yeah, I forgot. I went crazy. Got the spark plug wires. Ceramic ends. You got to cut them though. I hate doing that, but gonna make it right. Make nothing gets in the way. Yeah, that is something I ordered. You can order them on the website too. This
Coil.
is the coil. Oh.
Sticker.
And it's just electric coil. I don't even know the Blackjack Pro Series. Woo, sounds professional. Give me this sticker back. Give it. I'm real bad at explaining, so I'll probably get yelled at, but that's okay. This is your, basically all your pickups and everything for GPS. GPS for that 7-inch display. You can get, you know, miles per hour and all that stuff on it. that is, I'm not going to open that right now, but that is basically the display case that it sits on the dash in. It's very well made too. I've kind of looked at it. What do we got here? He's just pulling crap out, and I'm pointing it out and telling you what I think it is. This is the doohickey thingamawatcher that goes in the whatchamacallit. I have no idea what this is. It has electrical ends on it, and it has some red goo. I don't know. No, that's a temperature sender. Gotta have that. If you're gonna have EFI, you've got to run a temperature sender to it, or it will not get itself.
A keychain, that's how you know it's really worth it.
Oh, look at that. This, I don't want to open this yet either. There's keychains and stickers in there. And then there's also a grommet for when you want to drill through your dash or your firewall. You can, you know, cut the right out with a hole saw, the right size out, and then you can stick your wiring harness through there. That way you don't get all the crap in there. What do we got left? Oh, yeah, pull it out. What is it?
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't either. What is it? Oh, that's our O2 sensor. And that should, yep, right there's the bung. The bung. Why would you want to say something they say, bung hole? No, it's the bung hole. Anyway, this is the bung that you would weld on, you know, to your exhaust for your O2 sensor to go in there. Perfect size. Good quality made metal. So,
time for the grand finale.
The grand finale. You sure? What do we got? Oh, so here is our PC link. Is it? Let's get this right. Let's get this right. It says here, this is our ECU.
Oh no.
Electronic control U-Haul unit. It says it's pink.
What?
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 There's our ECU. It is pink. No, they did not send that to me as any kind of joke. I asked for this. This goes hand in hand with our TBI. This thing is very durably made. It is water resistant, not waterproof. My suggestion is don't put this outside under the hood. It is not weatherproof. So, the phone wanted to come with it. Are you bored? Good. Good, because we don't care, do we?
Now the time for the grand finale.
Grand finale? All right, get that box out of here. Get out of here. Get. Well, take your time. All right, buddy. Let's show them the big dog. This is Aces EFI's Kill Shot. They make a Kill Shot Classic, which has a smaller, I think it only goes up to 400 HPs, horsepowers. This one goes up to 650. But comes with all your stuff, a special gasket. It takes a special gasket, and we'll get to that whenever we put it in the car.
Smells like racing fuel.
Huh?
Smells like racing fuel.
It does smell like racing fuel. Maybe we need to race. So here is our TBI. This is Aces Kill Shot Breast Cancer Awareness. So every time you buy these, some of the money goes towards breast cancer awareness. And the reason, being serious, the reason that I actually picked this, especially being Amber's car, is both of our families have been just destroyed and devastated by all kinds of cancer. My family is breast cancer, and you name it, it's there. And so we thought it was fitting, since it's hers and her family has it in their family, It's her car. I thought this would be the best way to show it. And we'll have some other things that we're going to do to also dress up the engine for breast cancer awareness. Right, buddy? Mm-hmm. So, anyway, guys, this is very, very well made. I like how they made it so it looks like bulls on an old style carburetor. And the injectors are inside these bulls. And all the linkage is so smooth. That's smoother than a carburetor. Very, very well made. And I'll have to get into it more, but a lot of the components inside this and other things that I've showed you are all available in local parts stores damn near. The only thing that would not be would be this. So everything they use in here, if you're in a pinch, you can stop at, you know, pick a parts store and order. They have the injectors, they have the pump. I believe they have this here, whatever that thing is called, I can't remember. And everything here is designed, you know, made by ACES that's on this system. So, you know, be sure if something does happen, you get a hold of them, call, email, but don't wait a month after you email and you didn't hit nothing back. Give them a call. They're very, very busy. So, it's late in the day now. This is going to be a series that's going to be, some of it's going to be in the dark, ain't it, buddy? We're just going to have to run lights. I hate to be that way, but like I said, guys, it's outside, okay? I don't have a shop. This is a true test of someone doing it in their garage driveway or out in their, you know, their field, whatever you want to call it. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to be completely honest. You know, partnership, no partnership, we're going to be honest, because this is a big step for me to try to do this, and then, you know, I got to listen to it from her if it don't run right. It's going to be absolutely fine. They're great people. This is a great product. They've come a long way. They've got a lot more coming. So now we're just going to jump right off of this, and we're going to start to try and start putting some of these components on before we go to do this. We want to get our command center on. We want to get, you know, find out where everything's going to go. I got to make a return. We can use the one that's coming out of the tank, but we are going to have to put a return. So that's where we're going to have to drain the tank, drop it down, drill a hole, put that, whatchamacallit in. I don't know what the hell to call it. So we'll just call it the return nipple. Am I allowed to say that?
No.
Anyway, let's just cut to that. Thank you, ACES EFI, for the chance.
This is gonna be one ride.
Now I'm nervous.
Well,
as much trouble we've had with carburetors, buddy. What? I mean, it can't be that hard. I mean,
can it?
Well, here we go.
Let's go on a quarter-mile drag strip and wreck on the when you get on turn. I don't know.
Who do you think you are, Jackie Gleason?
No.
You ad-libbing?
No.
You're ad-libbing. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, there's a better way to do this, and I just get it all in and go. But I don't have that kind of time. I don't believe. I still got time tonight. What have you all been up to? I have not been buying cars. Left today, told Amber I was going to go to town real quick. And that landed me an hour and a half north, an 8-foot bed full of parts, and a trailer full of 1970 Mercury Marquis convertible. Luckily she wasn't angry. So anyway, we need to figure out, that way won't work, this way will. I don't want it, I can't service the brakes. I think that right there would be perfect. Double check. just like that. It'll sit just like that. Really need a rubber grommet. Get that sucker up off of that. But if we can't, we can't. All right, let me look, see what I got. All right. Whoa. I'm sitting here going through the command center. They got a very well done installation manual. I might actually have to read. But and the kill kit comes with your hose, and I kind of showed that, but not, and a bunch of fittings. But I'm going through here, and they do not have any rubber on it. I suppose it don't need it, because I mean a fuel pump in a tank really don't, it's just banging around in there. So they say it works best if you're upright position, like mount it to the frame, but I don't see us being able to do that, and that's as close to upright as we can go, and it's too high. I just don't have anywhere that I can do it on this one, you know. So we're gonna have to do the test where we're sitting on its side. Hey, what now? The supplied inline filter. Come on now. The Command Center 2 can be mounted vertically or horizontally. If mounted horizontally, make sure the return fitting is located in the highest position. Aha! See, this would be the return then. So if we're gonna have it sitting like this, that puts the return all the way to the top. That's a good idea, because that allows it all to come up and then blows it out that way. Okay? We learned something right there. So I made a couple phone calls. I think I've gotten it all straightened out. The regular fuel filter for the carbureted system will work fine going to here. It's what I put in after is what matters. I don't really understand how that works with, I don't think that this pump will pull through 100 micron. So again, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, are you an idiot? Well, you know what? I've tried Google and I get 50 different answers. As I said, I'm taking my time with this. I'm not rushing this at all. People like yourselves or anyone else can, you know, take your time and do this the right way. Don't just throw it all in, because I've noticed that some of the biggest mess ups is how close things are to other things. If you have the wrong filter, I'm not messing around with that. I got a long drive with this car. So I've just been trying to figure out where, if I put it just like that, that returns on the top. That's a good thing. That's what they say. So let me do some figuring here. Okay, so we know the command center is going right here on this fender well, and it's a good solid spot. It's good and solid. So it's going to be about right there. The fuel pump outlet is, you can see the filter down there. See it? Right there. Right there is the outlet of the pump. So it can come right, I think, let me double check. Yep, right there. It's right next to it. And it comes straight out, and I got it on a rubber hose, and it comes up, goes to the carburetor. But instead of going there, it's just going to push right back through here, okay? And it's going to come right up through here and go right here. You just come right up into there. It's a perfect shot. Keeps it away from everything. This is your outlet. It's not going to sit right there. It's going to sit like up here, off of the hose. But it'll go back around to the big filter that I'm going to put in. And this is the return. So if I run a normal style return, that would work, because it would just come straight back down. It'd be right there, and I can run it right alongside that other one. I think we got her figured out. I am going to order some more of these 45s. I don't know. Well, you know what? I might have some. Hold on a second. Turns out I don't have any. So for now, we'll just do that. This is a return anyway. That gives us an extra little bit of fuel. And I know it'll clear it'll definitely clear. You know, it's going to be right in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're good. That ain't hitting nothing. That actually gives me an extra little bit for the tank. So this is gonna work. This is why I'm doing this like this, guys. I would highly suggest, in any case of what you're doing, make sure you get your fuel system where you want it before you go doing anything else. You know, kind of like running hoses on a carb. You want to make sure everything's where it's going to be before you go just snipping and throwing. Then you got shit laying everywhere. I did that on this car. When I first started, I had hoses run all over the damn place for a regulator and all that, and I'm not going to do that. We're going to make sure this is tight, neat, and need I say professional. Anyway, I'm going to take those off. I know what I'm doing. Now I'm going to try to find a way to mount that where I like it and I know it's safe. I really wish I had a rubber mounting, but I guess maybe it don't need it. I don't know, but let me figure out some stuff here. I may use some washers for shims, but I'm definitely going to bolt it in. I'm not just going to use self tappers. I mean, going down the road and this thing comes loose and ends up in the fan or down on the exhaust, then you got a bomb. So let me try to figure some of this out. We'll try to get it in there. Turns out I don't have the bolts. I usually have a gazillion bolts, but not these. These are, I think they got to be 5/16, and I don't have any. I have some really long ones, and I don't want to do that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my bolt getting place, which is Rural King, and I'm also going to get some spacers. You know, like little metal round spacers. That way I can lift that thing up off of there, and that'll make it easier. And then I can just drill holes, and I'll get it put on there right. And I kind of like the idea of that one loop coming up that gives it extra fuel before it, instead of just going straight out of the tank. That every little bit helps, because I can't put it, vertically. I got to run it horizontal. That helps keep the tank full. So I need to run to town. I don't know if I'll be back to do this in the dark. I don't want to show you all this in the dark, but I can put a light out here and we can drill a hole, because I'm not hooking the whole thing up tonight. We're just putting that on. Said, guys, this is going to be a long video. This is something I have not seen from anyone. So let's just do it the right way. Right. Which I know is strange for me, but I want to do it right, because I'm not the one that's going to be driving this after duct tape drags. It's Amber, and I want everything to be right so she ain't got nothing to worry about. So we got to run to town. Might see you in a bit. Well, unfortunately, it got a little late. We was the last ones in the store, basically. Got everything we need. Picked up a few things that's going to work pretty good on this, I think. Been making some phone calls, asking questions, and it's just getting a little late. I need to go in and edit a video. But I got Artemis all put back together, where she can drive it. But I'm getting a better picture of what I want to do and how I'm going to do it. So anyway, we'll see you in the next little bit of this video. So, bye. Hey, it's a week later. I told you I got to work, man. I ran my butt off this week in that truck, and even had a lot of problems with it I had to work on. Don't film that. I don't like filming my work. So it is what it is. But hey, let's get on Artemis here. We got to get this ACES fuel injection system on it, because I've got literally a week and 2 days to get this thing ready to get our ass down to Arizona. So first things first, we got to get the fuel out of this tank. It just so happened she filled it up yesterday. So I went and bought me an extra fuel can. I got our other fuel can, and I don't know, we'll put some in the tractor. We can put some in other cars, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, let me get my little electric fuel pump lined out. We'll get that sucker empty while we're doing some other things. So here we go. And if you're wondering what I use for a spare fuel pump all the time, is this one right here. It's just a run-of-the-mill electric fuel pump. It comes with the clamp, and it comes with the nipples for it for running line. And then I have actually one of these in Javi over there. That's its fuel system, because every fuel pump I've ever put in it mechanically is junk. So I put this in there with a little regulator, keep her down to about 6 psi. It's not good on the pump, but things done just fine for 2 years. So, all right, under the back we go. Yeah, I only spilled about a gallon. It's a hell of a little pump though. Don't mind the red is actually negative. I got one full. Just waiting on this one. That'd be 10 gallons. May have to run into some of the cars. Maybe this one needs some, one of the other ones, but yeah, I know if she filled it up, that's a 21 gallon tank. Anyway, before I get all fancy and get my microphones on, let's get in here. So, this does not sit flush on the fender. No matter what, there's going to be a gap, and we do not want that, and I do not want any kind of stress on this bracket at all. So what I did was come over here. I went to my local Rural King farm store. You can go to Menards, and they've got these too. Got these little spacers, and they're 1/4 inch, and I got 2 or 4 of the big ones and 2 of the smaller ones, because that's all they had. And I'm going to use that to space out, you know, from the fender well to the command center. I got fender washers, okay, that way it sits flush, don't have to worry about it wallering out the metal. And then I got these little rubber washers, and they're, I don't know, they're a little thick, and I got those because they're going in between the fender washers and everything that actually mount the command center to the metal. Maybe it don't need to be there, but I'll tell you what, I'm fine with doing it, just an extra precaution, and not have that thing bouncing around, because they're not cheap. But you know, they're not cheap for a reason, because they make this whole switcheroo thing pretty damn easy. So I'm just gonna let that fill up. I'm gonna get me a drill bit and a drill, and we're gonna start marking some stuff off. We gotta get this thing mounted, then we gotta take that fuel tank out. That'll be fun, because that's a whole nother ordeal. Okay, so we're El Problemo number 10. See these little dots I made? That's where the top of this bracket needs to be. Well, if you put the bracket in place, even if I use the spacers, it don't fit. So I have a dilemma. See there? See the gap? Right there by my thumb? Yeah, so we are gonna have to bend these tabs to fit that setup. And that sucks, because I really didn't want to go bending something, but we don't have a choice. These are gonna have to be bent, because there is nowhere else I can put this that makes sense. I mean, you could run fuel lines all over hell to over here, and I could put this horn somewhere else, but then everything is over there, okay? That's a problem. And there's nowhere to put anything over here. Can't put it on its side. It needs to be level, either horizontal or vertically. Even if I took this thing out and sit down on the frame, I don't think the frame is wide enough. Nope. It's not. So I mean, I hate to take that out. This is trial and error, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this damn thing out. Let's see if we can't figure out a way we'll set her up straight up and down right there. Maybe I really don't want to go bending these, but if I have to, I will. I mean, I could shim these down, I guess, you know, grind them down. I really don't want to do that either. Them son of a bitch, $5 a piece. Well, after half hour, 45 minutes of trial and error, I've come to the decision that I am gonna have to make a bracket. That's just great. Let's get them, let's get those fabrication skills out and show you how good I am, which is as good as a blind person doing it backwards. You know, it's, I'm gonna hook it right here somewhere and come up. Maybe I can just make a bracket to go over. Oh God, let me think about this. Okay, so what I'm gathering here is I've got one of the brackets down there that's on the fender well, and that's about where I need to be. I don't like how close it is to that hose, but this car don't run that hot anyway. But I can make brackets. It's hard to do here. I'm holding this, but where that red wire is right there, where them holes are, I can make brackets to go from there to there. And I think that'll work. It's not in the way of anything. I got elbows. Everything's good. Okay, first I'm gonna get the bottom mounted. So I drilled some holes right down in there. You can see that blue bolt down there. There's 2 holes, and on the back side of that there is a fender washer and a rubber washer against the metal. The other side just has a fender washer. So now my idea is to run a bracket, make something, and I just have them kind of loosely tight because you can adjust this to make sure it's level. So I want this out like that, and that would be perfect. And this is more solid than down there, so I need to make a bracket that will come across here and mow back to there, and that will give me perfect. That will be perfect. Everything goes underneath the hose. Should be good to go. Now what do I make the bracket out of? Well, I am redneck, somewhat white trash, mostly white trash actually. That right there will be perfect. I've already got the holes that I'm going to use. They match up perfect with the actual command center. This stuff is bendable, pliable, and once you get it set, it's pretty damn strong. I use it all the time. Doesn't look the best, but you know what, guys? I just need it in there. We can get it set, and then I can later go back and make a piece of metal that matches what I made. But for now, this is going to have to do. So I need to get this in the vise, start bending and moving, and try to get it so it sits flush on there. And this sits like that. That's all I want. I want that thing to sit out just like that, and then we have this thing ready to go. I will have to take it back out though, because these bolts that go in these brackets, I never really trust little stuff like that. It ain't Ace's deal, it's my deal. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite on there. And well, once we get this mounted and it's good to go, we know where we're going, then we can get that tank out, because that's the next thing. Running lines and electric, I think is going to be easy. So onward. I am a brilliant redneck. That thing is perfect. I got to take it all back apart, but we get the idea. That ain't going nowhere. This is pliable, so if I need to bend it a little, I can. But for now, that's perfect. Whenever I go to remount that, I'll use better washers and stuff like that. But this is right on the money, baby. That's what I wanted. That's better than up there. Next, it's freaking hot. I may have to put the tent up. Got all the fuel out. I guess we'll start digging into that fuel tank, because I got to get a return put in it. So yeah, I got a little work to do here. I'd say that bracket's on its last leg. Actually, the bottom of it's pretty strong. It's just a little edge on the top. Maybe I'll fix it, maybe I won't, don't matter. As you can see, I use the InstaStrap version of the Insta bracket, like I used on the command center up there, but they work just fine. They're strong, they do what they're supposed to do. This thing doesn't go anywhere. Got carriage bolts in it. It's fine. It's all good. Used rubber from a broken mud flat from my truck to tighten this up nice and snug so it don't rattle, and everything's fine. So I need to get this thing out of here, but I thought I'd show you why it's such a nightmare, because the fuel tank that originally came to this car was for Superior Coach Company. It wasn't made for anybody else. So it is what it is. We make do with what we have, right? All right, let me get this out of here. So I had rubberized coated this truck bed liner, and its stomach's coming up. Some of it came off, so we're gonna redo that for sure while we have it out. While it's out, we'll do that. But it's just a run-of-the-mill Chevelle fuel tank from like '67. Got the vent over here. I have a vent going up with like a rollover valve, and it's just a standard 3/8 one wire ground. That's all we needed. So now we are going to put a return bung right there, but we got to make sure this thing's empty, and we'll have to take this off. I have another seal if we break it, so let me get some salt horses out or something. We'll get this up on there. We'll put that bung in there. Then I'll crawl under there and I'll show you what's up and see if we need to fix anything before we go ahead and put that back in, because I was just kind of messing around and half-assing it to get it on the road. So okay, I'll be back. So this is basically 1/2 inch, and it tells you you're supposed to use a step bit or you can use a drill bit, 1/2 inch, either way. Unfortunately, my step bits from that orange overseas channel, you know, app, it's all metric, so it'll be just above 12, but I've got a 1/2 inch drill bit, so we can do that. By the way, I've let this, it's been a while, I've let this, you know, fume. Matter of fact, before I start, go ahead and pop that off, and I'll blow some air through it while I'm drilling. That way, if it does decide it wants to, it blows that way. By the way, ain't she pretty? She's back in the yard. Back to my daily driver. Missing a lug nut, that's great. That broke off. Got a smaller drill bit here, I don't even know what size, 1/4 inch I believe. And I went ahead and made a mark where I'm gonna, you know, drill it through. And I got this old wheel bearing grease that's contaminated. I just dipped her in there, and that'll help catch some of that metal that's coming off of it, okay? Just make sure she's aerated. You don't need to be blowing yourself up. Nope. Alright. Let's make sure we get all the crap off of it. And I'm guessing here, but 12 would be about a 1/2 inch. I was looking at it, I got a 1/2 inch bit here, and it's damn close. We'll just give her a little until it can fit. That's my situation, that may not be yours. Again, dip it in grease. There's 2. Go. Hopefully I didn't get too much metal in there. I've got a magnet I'm going to run down. That's right on it. And shove her in there tight. That's what you want. Because what happens is this bolt will go through this side. I got to take this off yet. And it'll draw this up and it'll smash this against there, right? And then there's a seal on this side that'll seal the outside on the tank. Then you put this in, you just got a regular 6 AN. So, not a big deal. Believe it or not, this was the scary part for me, because I don't like drilling into fuel tanks, but we got it. So I'm gonna let that air a little more. It may got a little hot over here. I'm gonna go get a magnet that I've got on a spring. I'm gonna run it over there, make sure I got everything. Just kind of used the whirler on here, cleaned her off real good. Got that end fitting out of there. Now on these threads, I highly recommend spray some lube in it. You're getting lubed up like that. Then get your bolt in there. Then you want your rubber seal. Stick that in like that. And you want this to be a tight fit. You don't want it to just fall in there. Just like that. Then you got a 1 inch, use a 1 inch. I don't have a 1 inch. I need a 9/16 like that. Keep that tight. It'd be nice if I had some help. I don't know where my partner is. Let me go get him. I need somebody to hold this for me. Just put your arms around it and hug it. Hold it. That ain't going at all. What the hell? That ain't gonna work. That's not good. The seal didn't even go on there. That's great. That means this is ruined. Yep. That. Are you goddamn serious? So the seal didn't stay, and now it's screwed. Yeah, so you can't, the problem with this is you can't pull it out. It's gonna set me back a week. Great. Well, I guess I'll make some phone calls, see if any friends have something that actually works. Yeah, so I have friends looking for me a different one. Perfect. Just perfect. Of course, it's aluminum. There we go. Yeah. It went sideways. When I had it tight, and when it was getting in, it gets sideways and it f***ed up the threads. Great. Anyway, my neighbor might have some, but he's at work, so I wanted all that done before I take anything out, but that's how it goes. My old faithful. Oh, all right. Let's see what she looks like on there, huh? Now the question is, do I run the spacer or do I not run the spacer? I don't think it's any taller. Oh, you're kidding me. This air cleaner won't fit. That's great. Just fine. Just fine. Got all these little Edelbrock plates on it. See that? That's why you run one of these plates. That's all you get. See what I mean? Always run one of these plates. I don't want to ruin a perfectly good gasket, but we have to. Back down, right where it was. Like that. Oh shit. Probably won't. That might. Let me see if it'll fit. Put those on it. No, it ain't. I'm kind of thinking we'll run it without the spacer. Because the only reason that spacer's there to keep the fuel from boiling, we ain't gonna have that problem here. Okay, so yeah, we're not gonna run the spacer. It's gonna sit just fine. One thing that I went ahead and did is I put this little adapter in to run to this. Now, it don't quite go full throttle, but that's because it's hitting the wall back there. I'm gonna have to cut part of that thing off. But other than that, it's pretty good. Not bad at all. So we got that part. I do have a block off for one of these coming. It'll be in tomorrow. And like I said, we're gonna run all this. All that'll be down there, but the main one's gonna go up and around to a filter and then around to here. That way everything over there is nice and clean. Nothing's gonna get hit. We got that far, so what do we do now since we don't have a fuel tank? Let's go ahead and maybe figure out how we're gonna wire it. Okay, so here's our pewter, and as much as I want this to go inside, until I'm for sure everything's gonna work, it's staying right where it is. Because I have to cut a hole in the firewall, and I don't want to do that if I don't have to. But I mean, that may go inside. Those relays will fit perfectly up against that wall. I'm going to run that line with its own loop going all the way around. I got everything here. Fuel pressure switch. This is for your O2 sensor. Coolant temperature. So. And there's the coil wire, and that right there is what goes to the handheld. So that's the basic gist of it. It's pretty simple. I think just for showing and everything for where I'm going to be at with this car, I'm going to go ahead and put that computer outside. It does not come with some kind of a mounting hardware stuff, and I'm gonna take care of that again with rubber washers. That way it ain't taking a lot, you know, the rubber will take some of the brunt of it. This here, ACES fuel injection. Yep, this is another, this is, you know, like your extra wiring harness for like nitrous and all that stuff. We don't need any of that. That goes to a computer. So there's my O2 sensor. Made sure I had the right end, and I got to put that in. But that's going to be the easy part here. I want to get this wiring to where it's not obnoxious and not in the way. So this is going to take some doing. So let me get this figured out, and I'll show you what I did. This is going to take a minute. Well, I have to disregard that last statement that there are no rubbers with this. Found those in a pack. They screw onto here, which I ain't quite figured out how to tighten them, but either way, it's rubber. That was the main idea, is I needed something with rubber, and they do come with the kit. This is my coolant temperature sender switch thingamabob, and guess what? It doesn't fit my intake. I need to get an adapter. I do not have one. So I'm gonna have to find that. I'll have to go find that. And then everything else seems to be like it's gonna go right where it needs to be. I've drilled some more holes in the fender well, which I like that a whole lot better than cutting a big hole out of the firewall in this car. I don't want any more holes if I don't have to. Hopefully it'll be okay. Good test, huh? Anyway, if I come back, or I may leave and we'll get me something to fit this. Yay, yay. And okay. With that little adapter right there, I had to go all over hell to find it, but I found it. It was a weird find. It was I don't know, I didn't have anything to set up. Kind of weird. Mine didn't fit. It was just that one little pitch. It was different. That one didn't fit. I don't know. Anyway, it's on there. It's gooped. It's ready. So now we got that hooked up. We got to worry about the welding the bung and the exhaust. I have an idea of how I'm going to do this. It all sits pretty nicely right here, out of the way. You put one of the things there and one of them there, just right next to each other so you can get to them. These will be right here. Your fuses. It's all simple to get to. No big deal. So I also bought a bunch of steel fuel line. So that's going underneath for the 3/8 return. It has a 3/8 to the mechanical, a 3/8 return. And then what I've decided I'm going to do with this old boy is this little thing right here fits perfect, 1/2 inch. You can kind of screw it in there. JB Weld. That's right, you heard me. I'm not messing with it. It's a return, it doesn't get pressure. So it should be fine. I should just be able to use regular, I'll use some good line going from that command center to the metal. I've got some of that fuel injection line, but as far as back there to the tanks, it's going to be fuel line, should be just fine. If it's not, I'll find out, won't I? So I guess let me just go on and keep wiring here, try to get this thing mounted. I ain't quite figured that out, and then we gotta figure out how we're gonna run things. I am not putting that distributor in just yet. We're gonna see if it runs good without it. Then we'll put that distributor in. Okay, so we got this all mounted good. It's not going anywhere. It's nice on rubber. These I haven't put down yet. I'm gonna wait on those. Got my lines out. This is ground straight to battery. This is power straight to battery. Hot, not so hot. This goes to key ignition, and the thing is you want 12 volts at crank. You need to have it at crank. It needs to be showing 12 volts at all times when you're cranking it. So keep that in mind. This goes to this fuel pump, which goes right there, and then you ground it to something. There's plenty of places I can ground it straight to the battery if I want. It's right there. Not a big deal. Wiring is pretty much where it needs to be for now. Good enough to run. We still got to get the bung in. I have not got the O2 sensor in. Give me a break. I think we're good. I think most of this is hooked up right. We'll still have to fix some vacuum leaks because I'm not hooking up the distributor completely yet. I'm not hooking up the brake booster yet. That's all after it runs. You get me? All right. Yeah, this is new to me, but it's getting there. It's been a frustrating day. Not because of this system, well, other than that fuel thing, but this thing's going in just fine. Looks good. Looks like it's going to fit just fine. Well, it kind of went off key and just started making lines. Really, no, you're not really supposed to make them like that. You're supposed to straight. I can't do that because there's nothing to hang it on through here if I went straight, and I think that's fine. Comes out, goes into this angle. I can put something to hold that. Looks nice and neat, except for all the wiring. Don't worry about the wiring. Ignore it. Just don't look. And yes, I made my own lines, and let's just say I am absolutely horrible at it. Matter of fact, I'll hit the pressure, one will probably just pop right off. But I don't know. It ain't that hard to do. I've never really done it. I don't mess with the AN fittings and all the crap. I never did that. It was just slide a hose on, clamp it down, and go. Even with the race cars, I didn't mess with this stuff because I did everything on the cheap. this stuff's not too bad. It's actually awful cheap now. Like, a lot of this I used was from the Aces kit, and then I had a couple other pieces to get it in there. So there's 145, or excuse me, 190, 2 straights, and a 45. That way there ain't a bunch of restriction in there. That 190's, it's not exactly great, but we're not exactly running a race car here. So hopefully it'll be okay. The line that goes to the return, it's gonna have a barbed deal on it that goes right to the damn return. I'm just gonna clamp it like I normally would. The only part I'm really paying hardcore attention to with the AN is the actual, the actual throttle body where the pressure goes through. But, it's just regular PT, whatever. But I'm pretty sure for that is done. I just gotta tighten them, but we ain't doing that yet. I already got it set up where the fuel inlet. Now I got the fuel out. I need to put the new steel line that I bought. Where'd I do with it? Oh, it's right there. I got to put that steel line, bend it, get it up here as good as I can, up close as I can, and then we can just run a regular, high. I'll use EFI line to run to it, but I'm just going to clamp it down. There's no pressure. It's going straight into the tank. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll blow fuel everywhere, but I highly doubt it because it's literally going straight back into the tank. There's no restriction on it. 3/8 all the way. So, okay. Let me figure out what else we're doing here. So my neighbor had one, and he said the secret is anti-seize. We shall see, won't we, buddy? Mm-hmm. He borrowed me a 1-inch, and you're gonna have to hug that thing and hold it. So, yeah, that's perfect. So basically, it's about, you get that anti-seize on there because the steel bolt against the aluminum is a no-go. So, go get me the brake clean, Bubba. Yep, I think we're gonna be good. She's snug, there ain't no way that's leaking, everything stayed. Now we are gonna have to clean this thing out. There we go. And that's that. Yes sir, yes sir. Whew. So it was my fault. I didn't know what I was doing. Anti-seize. That was it. Anti-seize. Okay. That's that. I'm going to run a magnet in here. We're going to wash her out. I got to get some other stuff done. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting a little bit. The problem with this is all that aluminum. So, guess what you can do? What? You can wash it out. Yay! With water! Yay! Let's get water all inside our fuel tank. Okay, so here's my return line. I just got to do the, get it up in there tight, but I haven't done that yet. And I'm just going to run, I got lines coming in that'll hook to steel. And I'll go from there to right there. And that's my return line, and in the back I'm going to run the same stuff to go into the tank. I kind of bent it back there, and then I kind of decided a different route about it. It's easier to get that line that comes with it over the hump and stuff like that. I could have used it for the whole side, but maybe something happens and I take this and put it, there's a million reasons why I put a return line on there, but the main one is just for this. So we got the tank drying out. We got all the lines made except for the back one I need to do whenever I get those fittings in tomorrow. I don't have any. So that's it. She's basically wired. I'm not going to wire it to the battery just yet. And hopefully in the morning that stuff comes, because if it don't, oh boy, if I may not get that distributor in. That may have to be a next weekend thing, and I hate to do that right before we leave, so we'll see. So I'll be back either in a little bit with more, or I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to the nightlife. I was sitting up on the porch getting me a drink, talking to the family, because I really ain't talked to them all day other than Zeppy. And I thought, man, I need to get this in here and back up in. Neighbor might have a couple pieces that I may need to get the fuel lines all done and get that fuel tank back in, but it's dark. You know, this is how it goes with me, because I have today what I got done and tomorrow. Next weekend is a maybe. Know what I mean? I'm really trying to work on my welding skills. And yeah, that may look absolutely disgusting to you, but to me, that is a world apart of what I used to do, because welding just wasn't my thing. And I know it's terrible. You make fun of me all you want, but I did it myself. That's the point. Well, I just gotta hook the main wires up, hook up the computer ECU. I have the handheld hooked up, not a permanent setup. O2's in, O2's hooked up. It was long enough that it's all wound up here. By the way, I'm not cutting any of this. I'm gonna wind it up and I'm gonna set it underneath somewhere and stack it down. That way I still have it. One thing that I do need to do is tomorrow I'm gonna have to get some way to hook up that PCV valve right there. I may do it old school like they used to. There was a port right here that went this way and down. I may just do that. I've got the old one. It'll fit. I can stick it there or there, and then the brakes can go over here, or I can run, one over into there, but that's kind of a shitty, that's a shitty turn, but it'll work. Those are all little things. Neighbor's got some stuff I need. I'm gonna go down there and grab it so I have it in the morning. And we should be ready to give this thing a whirl. So I will see you guys in the morning. Hey, welcome back. It's the next morning. I've already made a run to Menards and got me some things that I can secure up the fuel lines that I really never have done. But I got that new line in there for return, and that needs to be secured against the frame or the body or something so it ain't just banging around in there, Also got my little fittings from a neighbor. These are crush fittings for AN lines. And these you can go from a steel line to your regular AN, PTFE, all that kind of stuff. I got to get one up here to go to the pump and one back there that goes to the tank. But before we do all that, probably ought to put the tank in, right? So let me get that cinched up and put back where it was, and hopefully nothing goes wrong with that. Kind of hard to film under there because it's so damn, skinny and I'm fat. Yeah, we'll just get that, and then we should be able to hook it up, and I'll get Zeppy out here. He's actually awake this early in the morning on a Sunday. Get him out here and we'll crank on this and make sure we get a 12-volt crank. I want to make sure that we get 12 volts at crank, that way it ain't shutting the computer down every time you turn the key, like a lot of times happens. And then people say, what happened? I don't know why it dies. That's why. Computer's restarting every time. So let's get that fuel tank in there, and then we'll start putting on these and make a couple more lines. And by the way, there's a lot of videos out there making PTFE lines for AN fittings, AN6, 8, 10, blah, blah, blah. It's best to go look at them, because I could possibly be doing this wrong the first time I start this up. Fluid everywhere. I've never done it. Yeah, I tell the truth here. So let me get that tank up in there, and we'll start putting in some more lines. We should be getting pretty close. Should be getting pretty close. So I did get one of the crush fittings on the line. It's right there, and I put me a little holder to kind of keep it from moving around too much. I don't have one the right size. I could maybe throw some more rubber in there, fuel line or something. But just been going, setting everything, getting it where it needs to be, and I'll loom this. I got some loom I'll put on there, but like I said, all the extra wires going down in there. Went around and put it on the fuel line right there and right there. That way that's good to go. Got it on the fuel line right there. I just don't want it moving around. I need to make a line for the return, and then I need to go in the back, and I got another one of those crimp tools. I've actually got some more coming, but the tank is in. I know this is moving kind of fast, but this is my last day. I got to get this thing done, and I haven't even begun on the distributor. That might be something I might just have to say the hell with it, and we're going to do it real quick. I'll get Zeppy out here. We'll find Top Dead True, and we'll go from there. But I'd really like to hear it run before I do that kind of crazy shit, because something's wrong. I have to convert it all back. Well, the only place that I can find a key close to 12 volts at crank is to the distributor. We're going to end up doing this anyway, so why not? We'll just take this distributor and we'll make sure that it's locked out, and it's real simple to do. You just don't want any mechanical advance. I've seen some of these, they seem that they were loose. This one doesn't seem to be that at all. It's got the right bushing in it, and you know, these are Pontiacs are made a little bit different, so this thing looks to be right where it needs to be. Very well built. I must say, I've used similar on my Buick, and a couple other ones are just like this. Billet, nice. This is the Blackjack Pro distributor, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the mechanical advance out of it. We just take these springs out. Don't lose them. Don't need them. There's a little bushing on there that goes with the spring. You can take them off by hand, or you can use a needle nose, whatever. Don't lose any of that, because you know, you can use them on other things. Take these mechanical advance weights off of here, and that leaves you with just this. And see, there's your advance, and you do not want that. So what we're going to do is we got to knock this roll pin out of here. The best way to do that is with a block and a punch. I used to have a thing that did it a lot better than this, but boom, there's our roll pin. Put that in here. These things are neat, by the way. It's a little magnetic holder, but pull that out. You're going to pull your gear and your bushing off. This is just for Pontiac, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if the other ones have it or not. But then all we're taking out is this dude right here. That's all we're taking. You don't even have to take it all the way out if you don't want to. This basically is just what sits on, I believe it's called the reluctor wheel. I don't remember. My brain is fried today. But this basically is just going to hold your rotor, you know. But this, you want to bring up. You got that little nut and that bushing that needs to come out of there, okay? So I forgot the wrench to do it, so I'll be right back. So here's the thing. I'm in a garage full of nothing but old iron, right? And it just so happens this nut is 7mm. Oh shit. Vice grips it is. Alright, got our nut. Make sure we don't lose it. Goes in with the magnets. Off comes the bushing. Then we just turn it from the opposite side. This is where the bushing rides. This is where this rides. So we get that down. Right in there. She's locked solid. And we'll Pull the whole thing up again. Damn it. I'm going to make sure that's tight. Dang, I wish I had a freaking wrench. I don't have one small enough. Figures. It's my luck. So just be real careful. But you want to lock it back down. See, I've seen some guys where they were complaining that it was loose, but they weren't putting the nut back on and they weren't turning it. They didn't realize you had to turn it. There's no way for that to move if you put it in the right spot. So then just stick the bushing back on. That little, there's two actually. There's a big brass and a little one. And get that right where it's supposed to be. Be damn careful you don't hit your gear. Oh, I think we're on it. I think we're good. Oh yeah, it ain't going nowhere. Now, she's locked out. That's all you get. Gotta be damn careful putting these on. There's a round and a square hole. You can see them. I mean, I guess if you've never messed with any of this stuff, you might screw that up, but most people won't. Rotor only goes on one way. Okay? Tight. You want no loosey-goosey. Alright, now you might be thinking, oh, throw the cap back on. Nope. We're going to take the cap and pretty sure this only goes on one way, so I want to make this so it shows the Aces thing because that's who's done it. So number one is right there. I know that because I've had this thing apart so many times. Number one, I always point towards the number one on these GMs. And a little fun fact, by the way, Pontiacs, the number one cylinder is on the driver's side bank, right? Number one is behind number two. Number two is further forward in the engine block than number one. That's weird, huh? Yeah. Anyway, so we know it's going there. And then these will only go on one way, or actually I think they'll go on a couple ways. These will. You can kind of set them where you want them. Because what we're going to do, and I'm rambling, I know. Yep, 1, 2. So we're going to be in there like that, no matter what. So I'm going to, it's that one right there. So we'll say that that's number one. And where's my little marker? We'll say 1. It's right there. There we go. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to mark that 1. And I'm going to set the distributor down here in the hot sun. I'm going to get up there and I'm going to switch all the plug wires around. That way this is already in there, and then all I got to do is pull the bottom out, set it to where the old bug was, the rotor bug. As long as it's in that general direction, when I put this on, it should just fire right off when we fire it. Oh, please, ignition, please do well. Don't mess with me, please. All right, let me get the air chuck down there and blow that out. I don't want that falling in that motor. It's brand new. So we got that all blown out. Now you want to pay attention real careful on which way the rotor turns as you're pulling it out, because that's about where you need to put the next distributor in, and it should slide right down in and get the oil pump. That's what's always going to give you your fits. If this one is separate from this one as far as where the oil pump is, you're going to have to get down in there and turn that oil pump rod ever so slightly with a screwdriver. So I'm going to look. I know y'all can't see this, but it's turning that way. And pull it straight out. Make sure the gasket's on it. It is. Get this out of the way. Now, don't just willy-nilly throw the sumbitch back in there. Make sure that shit's clean. And it is. It's very clean, but I'll still wipe it off. Pretty clean. Don't just throw it in there. Make sure you put some lube on the distributor gear for the camshaft. And I use CRC Assembly Engine Lube. This stuff right here. I use it to build my motors. I use it to just change camshafts. I use it for everything. I'll take this over the gooey stuff any day, because the gooey stuff eventually breaks down and runs off. So, get this open. Make sure your gasket's on there. I'm going to get this in all the little pores. This stuff dissolves pretty good in oil. Just like that. Can't say there's too much. Throw some up here in this, where your oil pump goes. Now, I know it turned this way. Here's the front. This is facing number 1, and it had just hit number 1. So we're going to go down in, turn it just to the left. I know you guys can't see this, but you just got to kind of mess with it. But it will go. Boom. Well, I think we're going to have oil pump problems. Yep. There, right there it went in. Yeah, but that's way off. And it's there. Oh, this is going to be fun to look in there. Damn. Let me get a big screwdriver. I got it. First try. Basically went down in there. Sorry I didn't film it, but I had my big screwdriver down in there, and I just turned that thing about a quarter turn. It's down in there. It's flat, you know, you can put your flat blade screwdriver in there. I just turned it a quarter of a turn, and it went perfect. Right where the other one was. And that is forward. Yeehaw. Should be good to go. Should be. Of course, we won't lock down it until we get it set to 15 degrees before. So let me assemble the rest of this. I gotta figure out where to put this. I'm probably gonna have to move this down and then put that coil about right there. I mean, I could put it right here, I guess, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll be back. Well, PCV is hooked up. It has to be for this thing to run correctly. Went ahead and ran it into there. Everything seems good. I need to get a coil wire, but I can use a regular plug wire for that. I've got just some elbows that'll work just fine. Everything's hooked up. Key ignition switch. The only thing I did not hook up is my ground to my fuel pump. The command center is not hooked up yet, and the reason being is because I want to crank this thing to make sure I get fuel, because we've already emptied the line. I'm also going to take this off right here and prime it at least up to here. So I'm sure there's a little bit in it, but I need to get that tank filled, so let me do that and we'll start cranking. Alright, buddy. But I'm going to have Zeppy here. I'm going to unhook this main line going in from the mechanical pump, because I put 5 gallons of gas in it. I'm going to take this off and we're going to crank it until we get fuel out of this hose. We're just going to spill it on the ground, that way it catches fire. I have the computer and everything unhooked, the fuel pump unhooked, everything's unhooked. So go ahead and crank her, buddy. Let it rest a second. It's starting to get it. There ain't no room for me to show you this anyway, so it is what it is. Okay. Crank it. Whoa! Now we're good. Alright, buddy, crank her. One. No, keep cranking, I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll let it sit a second, shut the battery off. We're going to make sure that that tank is good and full before I hook up anything at all. Then we're going to turn on the key. We're going to make sure we got the fuel pump working. Alright, you ready? Let's crank for 10 seconds again. Go. Alright, shut the key off. Now we're going to let this aerate a little bit because I spilled some gas, of course. I need to get a coil wire and get that, and then we'll hook everything up properly. You do not want that thing to come on without everything on it. That way you can run a test to make sure it has everything. So, I mean, I've known that for years. So let me get a coil wire. Okay, we're all hooked up. So we're gonna turn the key on here. We got all our power. Boom. Aces fuel injection. Jackpot. No. What's this? Aces main interface. What's this? What's this? I need this one. Are you sure you select this mode and set it as the default mode for next startup? No. Let me go out. What is going on? Okay, starting system. Beep. Kill shot. Is that what we have?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the kill shot. Fancy. Ignition. So we need to go in Wizards. Start Wizards. Kill shot. Mostly stock, we'll say.
You sure it wasn't the kill shot classic?
Only one. Point magnetic coil. CD ignition valve points. We got magnetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wizard number of injectors, 4. Don't mess with that. Flow rate, metric units, that's right on. This is a 400 CID. We'll start with 850s, fine. Wizard details, RPM, kill shot, magnetic, number of flow rate, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Save. Save. Key off for 5 seconds to make configuration effective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5?
Mm-hmm.
Turn it back on. There we go. Connected to kill shot. The battery's low. That's great. Need to change the battery. IAC position. We're gonna have to watch this. This is one of the main things right here that'll mess people up real hurry if you can't, you know, in a hurry if you can't get that. Fuel state, open loop. Whew. Ready to try it? Wait, we got the key on. Let's shut it down. I'm gonna make sure we don't have any leaks with the key on, okay? Give me 1 second. It probably already threw it all. Let me look underneath. I don't see no leaks. It would have built pressure.
Come on, Arnold.
Ace's #1 start. I'm going to shut the key off and cycle it one more time.
Multi-industry for this car.
Here we go.
Oh, smoky smoke.
Yeah, for some reason I can't get this thing to unlock the timing. What's the matter? God. We've been kind of just letting this thing run and stay hot. Got the timing locked in. To do that, you go in here and you do tuning, spark. You can just do it with the basics and crank ignition timing, and that's what it wants, 15 degrees. You double click on that and it'll tell you that's where it wants. But go in here. Yeah, let me go back. I messed up. Advanced. Lock and unlock. Right there. You lock that. Then you go out here. You lock, save, go out here, and you set your timing to 15 degrees or whatever it tells you it needs to be, right? And then you go out here and you set it with your timing light. Then you come back in here and you unlock it. What I've been doing is letting this thing run. I'm checking for leaks and all kinds of stuff. My main concern is right here, the IAC position step. You want that between 10 and 20, somewhere in there. So how you do that, and it's gonna be noisy in here, guys. That little screw right there. I've already turned it in a little. It'll engage and it will idle up, okay? It'll idle up, but it's okay. So go about a quarter to a half a turn at a time. See, it's gonna idle up. Try to get her to come down. Needs a minute. There it comes down. Well, it will go down. Usually. Come on now. It's trying. See how it's messing around? It's changing its learning itself and saying what it needs. For some reason now, though, it ain't gonna go down. It all went too far. It's a hair too far, man. You just gotta kind of work with it till you get it in that target area. So I'm gonna keep messing with this and I'll get back with you. Yep, I found its happy places right there. 15, 16, ain't touching it no more. That's how easy that is. You just gotta work with it. Don't get frustrated. I have zero patience and I got it. You can do it. This is one of the easiest systems you can have. The only thing I got left to do is to make sure all the wiring's up where it needs to be, out of the way, and I've got the plug wires, the ACES fuel injection plug wires that I need to put on yet. But I need to get this bound up a little better so we can take it for a drive. it might be hitting, but that's okay. We can get it in. I had to put a spacer that I had, but it's a little bit too tall, but it's fine. We'll worry about that another time. I think we're gonna try it. We can go get Zeppy and we'll go for a drive. Oh boy. Sitting at 850-ish. IAC is 17. AFR is 13.4.
First test drive.
Hey, you know, hey.
So far, so good. Why is there a Mustang in our yard again?
Do is normal driving. Just see what it does. It sure likes to run hot, I'll tell you that. Didn't do that before. Monitors. That's learn mode. Just let it do its thing. Just a little speed up. Yo. Let it do its learn thing, but we didn't do it really on a big road. Here where we're going to go off and on the throttle nicely, we're just going to kind of cruise around. Hopefully it'll set itself. It's got a target AFR. That's actual AFR is 12.5, 12.8, and it's asking for 13.5. So more than likely at some point we'll have to have it tuned, but you know, as long as we can drive it the way that it is, who cares, right? But after it gets tuned, it'll run even better. I'm glad to have somebody who knows a lot more than me to do that. We got people up my arse, so we need to give her some gas. We'll speed up a little bit. Messed up my fuel gauge now. That'll make Mom happy. That's all right. Easy fix. It's doing its thing. He's doing his thing. We're just going for a drive. That's all you can do is we're just driving around. That upsets me. I messed up my damn fuel gauge, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But this thing's doing all right. I think once it gets it set, it's actually starting to get back down there where it usually runs with that water temp too. That has a lot to do with timing and, you know, it's setting its air fuel mixture. So once that gets set, you know, that all has something to do with how the engine runs and how it heats. You should know that. Whoa, that road kind of sucks right there. Anyway. Got her down there to 800, 750. IAC's at 11. Seems to be good. When we get back, we'll check that timing again to make sure. But we ain't got no leaks. Been checking to make sure this isn't getting too hot. I mean, it's getting warm, but Just to be expected. No leaks, no nothing. There's no leaks in the back. Sounds pretty healthy. I think we got that thing at 11, did we say? What's the IAC at? 10? Let's bring that up a little more. And to do that, we have to screw it out. Just that hair. That's it. But other than that, he's rolling. That's pretty good. We'll stay right in there. Heat's getting up there, 203. Wonder why that is. It never did that before. I don't know. It just needs to learn, I guess. Right? Just needs to learn. Mm-hmm. Can't learn by playing games, boy. All right, let's couple trips around the block. We'll bring her home. We'll do some checking. Well, ladies and gents, I gotta tell you, I am pleasantly surprised with this system. It hasn't failed me yet. I had a few things I kind of went through, messed it up. You can go right back. I just decided to let it learn itself, and as soon as I did that, it evened right out, and it's still just going. So it's just going to be on a learn mode, and we're going to leave it there, okay? Now, I still have some things to button up, the wiring and stuff like that, but the nice thing is this week, Amber will drive this thing at least 2 days this week, back and forth to work. That'll get it to learn, you know, starting, stopping, going like that. Just let the fuel system go. I did go and fill the tank. Turns out the gauge was right. There was only 2 gallons in there. This thing seems to like fuel. Hopefully it works that part out. But, you know, no leaks. Everything's working. It's a very, very easy system to put in. This is just kind of a complicated car to do it on because, well, let's just face it, I didn't, you know, put this together the right way to begin with. So, but everything's working. Everything that should be working is working just like they said it would, and I am ecstatic. I'm pleased. I cannot wait to get this thing on the road with me and Zeppelin down to Duct Tape Drags. That's right, Duct Tape Drags. This car, this long ass fuel guzzling 6,000 pound car is going to take me and my youngest son down to Duct Tape Drags in Tucson, Arizona at the end of September. Anyway, I want to thank Aces EFI. They sent me this system. I did pay for it. Don't remember, this is a channel that pays for everything. I did pay something for it, and I wanted the pink for breast cancer awareness, and everything worked out perfectly. So thank you very much, Aces. So far so good. I am ecstatic and pleased. Y'all should give it a shot. It's easy, inexpensive compared to others. Very inexpensive compared to others, and they're learning. This is a small company that is growing, and so far they're doing great. More advanced, more advanced, more advanced. I mean, it's every time I turn it on Aces EFI YouTube channel, they're putting out new things to tell you, show you. They're answering your questions. I call. It may take 10 or 15 minutes to get them on the phone, but I got them on the phone. Call them. Don't email them. They'll just get lost in a damn barrage. Get a hold of them. They're short-handed. They have to be, because these things are flying off the shelves like hotcakes, man. It's crazy. Great stuff. I'm so proud to have them as a partner on this channel. Zeppy's inside getting ready for school tomorrow already. It's getting late. So I appreciate it. I thank Aces for everything they've done. The other sponsors too, you know who you are. We'll put her down in there. You know, the Super Clean Roadkill Customs and lugnutguys.com. Please go visit acesefi.com. Check it out. See if you might want to give this a shot. I mean, if this white trash idiot can do it, I think you guys can too. So anyway, on the last bit of the nice day of a great week. Take care.
See ya, duct tape drags.